Hi friends, how are you? Hope you are doing fine. So today's topic is going to be very interesting and it is about how the continuous deployments are happening in the big companies like Facebook, Amazon, Google, okay, top rated companies. They are doing the thousands of deployments without any issues and the continuous deployments are going on very seamlessly and without any downtime. Even if it is scaling up, scaling down, during the festival seasons it is happening, right? How it is happening? Today we're going to check it out. Let's jump into it. Come to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about a very fascinating topic in the world of Kubernetes and in the GitOps world. So that is nothing about ArgoCD. So you might be heard about different types of continuous deployment tools like ArgoCD, FluxCD in Kubernetes. So why and what it makes more essential in the Kubernetes world. So let's discuss about this today in this video. And before jumping into this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to provide this type of content in my channel. So first of all, what is an Argo CD and why it's essential in modern Kubernetes workflows and how to install Argo CD on Kubernetes cluster. Okay. And finally, we will provide a live demo by deploying a Nginx app by scaling it up and down through GitOps principles. So let's jump into it. First question is, what is an Argo CD? So if someone asked how you will define Argo CD is a declarative GitOps continuous delivery tool in Kubernetes. And it also ensures the state of your Kubernetes cluster matches the desired state of defined in the Git repository. That I will explain you by doing a demo in the end of the video. And what are the highlights of this Argo CD? That is, first one, it is a declarative configuration and automated synchronization. Third one is real-time monitoring. So these are the things if you want to know what is an Argo CD. The first one is a declarative configuration. Second one, automated synchronization. Third one, a real-time monitoring. Coming to the second question, why we need to use Argo CD? So basically, there are some pain points in our day-to-day activities, like how we can manage our application. Like, at times we need to scale up our applications, at times we need to scale down the applications. So that is the main core when you are doing managing with applications. And also, manual configuration drift. The drift concept is playing a very important role in our day-to-day activities. Okay, to maintain the drift also is very critical thing. And also finally, simplifying the CI/CD pipelines also is very important. So those are the benefits of this Argo CD. And mainly, when it comes into GitOps, the source of truth is always Git. That means whatever the change is happening in the Git, Argo CD will recognize it as a source of truth and apply those changes in your Kubernetes cluster. Also, faster deployments with fewer errors and easy rollbacks to the previous state. So these are the benefits of using Argo CD. So that is about why we need to use Argo CD. And where does this Argo CD fits? Like, we have the component, we know Argo CD, but where we need to use it? Mainly Argo CD works with Kubernetes cluster. It's mainly with the K8s cluster. You can name it anything, like either it is a on-prem, cloud, you name it. And it will integrate seamlessly with tools like Helm and Customize, and the complement CI tools like Jenkins and GitLab CI/CD tools. So the main use case of this Argo CD is like continuous delivery in the production environment and managing multiple Kubernetes clusters. So that's it about why, what, and where we need to use the Argo CD. And now we can jump into a live demo of how to install an Argo CD in our Kubernetes cluster and how we need to manage the deployments. Let's jump into it. Here is my Kubernetes cluster, and now I'm going to install. And before that, let me check whether any namespaces were created. No. Now I'm going to create a namespace for Argo CD, and then the binaries required for Argo CD. So once it got deployed all the required things for Argo CD, and these are the important things for bringing up an Argo CD in our Kubernetes cluster, like the secrets and the configuration maps, role bindings, and finally the deployment of the core Argo CD application. So these are the things. And ArgoCD application set server, dex server is for authentication, and notification controller is to send the notification to the user. ArgoCD is to maintain the entries of the request repository. When you add any Git repository, so you can maintain those repository details using this deployment repo server. And server, it's a base server which is running in our environment to collect all the required details to the application. Now let's see the status of all the workloads of an Argo CD. Great. So now all workloads were running healthy. Now we need to pull the secret to log into Argo CD console. That we can run a command to pull the secret of to login. By using this, you can log into Argo CD. Before that, let me check my host name, and I need a port number which is running for ArgoCD. By the way, I forgot to tell you, we need to change the ArgoCD, the server, ArgoCD server, which is running as a cluster IP. We need to change that as a node port to expose the URL to access it from the console way. So that means, let me update that. You see here, the type of this one is cluster IP, but we don't need the cluster IP. We need it as a node port. If we change it, if you get the service, we'll get the external port numbers for 80 and for 43. Using those port numbers, we can able to access the Argo CD application. So here comes your Argo CD, and I'm going to log in with the password which we pulled previously. It's the password. Yeah, sign in. Here comes your Argo CD. And now I'm going to show you a demo how it is connecting to Git repository and how it is maintaining the source of truth by connecting to the Git repository. Now I'm going to create a new application here. The name is Nginx deployment. Project is default and automatic self-heal. This means Argo will force the Git into the cluster, and if there is any changes happen, it will automatically detect that and it will revert back those. I'll show you a demo on that. I'll tell you how it will work. And if it is not the auto create namespace, and the source of the repository is here is the repository, and here is the path where I have my deployment components. This is my default cluster URL. The namespace will be Nginx. Now, if I create, it's showing an application here. But if you see, it is trying to sync it. And now it's clearly telling you that it got synced and the health heartbeat is in green. Let's jump into my cluster and show you what it is means. You see here, there is an Nginx deployment which is running here, and it is connecting to that Argo CD. Now let me show you interesting thing here. So see, there are one replica is running for Nginx. Now if I try to increase the replica set from the server, how the Argo CD is reacting, let's check into it. I'm trying to scale deploy to a replica count of 2. Sorry, if you see here, it's trying to sync, but it is not allowing to bring up the pods because the source of truth, it is showing only one replica. That means the thing I want to highlight here is when you want to do anything from the cluster, it won't allow you to add those changes into your Argo CD. So it will always look for the changes which you are doing it from the Git repository only. Now I'm going to do it from the Git repository by increasing the replica count to as expected, like 2 or 3, and see how the Argo CD is reacting to it. Now I'm going to do it from the deployment in the Git repository where it is in my local. You see here, currently there are only one replica available. Now I'm going to and I'm adding the change to the Git repository, replica to Git push. So now technically there are two replicas were running. Now if we go and see here, this one it's still trying to replicate with our Git repository. Let me do a sync here. See here, one more pod started running, right? So at the same time, when you see the pod here, two pods are running for Nginx deployment. So that's the beauty of the source of truth which Argo CD is having and doing the scale up and scale down. Let me bring down that too. Even if I scale down from the Kubernetes, it won't allow you to scale down. See here, it's trying to bring down, but it won't. It will keep 2 as is because it is always looking for the Git repository. Now do the change from the Git repository and see how it is reacting. Now I am bringing back to replica 1 and doing that to same git add, git commit, replica to 1 and hit push. Now technically Git repository is having only one repo, and then if we do a sync here, this pod was gone, only one pod is running. So if you see here, only one pod is running from the cluster 2. So that is the beauty of GitOps here. And also there is one more tool we have, FluxCD, which is working as is, but why we choose FluxCD? Because everything having their own usage, and you know how to make use of that too. But when it comes to ArgoCD, we have a console where you can see the different types of things happening here from the deployment side, services and pods. So that gives a view for the people who wants to understand CD concept. It will helps a lot. And that's why I suggest ArgoCD will be a good for people who wants to learn it. And also it is the beauty of the GitOps in Kubernetes. And also I just want to tell you, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for more Kubernetes content. Check out the links in the description for all the commands and resources we used today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.